Back to Kia NBA shoot-around last night in Cleveland. Game 3 between the Pistons and Cavs, and LeBron back at home and a different man. Just ask Rasheed Wallace. That's fourth quarter tied at 68. 81-76 Cleveland with less than 3 minutes to go, and LeBron the step back three fadeaway. Cavs up by 8. Over 40 seconds to go. Chauncey Billups. Tough jumper. 20 seconds to go. It's LeBron. 32 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Cavs win it 88-82. Nothing like being at home. The return of the King to Cleveland resulted in almost 18 more points. Huge improvement in field goal percentage. With more on LeBron, let's send it to Fred Hipping in our ESPN studios. Freddie?
Dan, thank you very much. Here at the ESPN NBA studios, NBA practice court, Fred Hickman alongside Greg Anthony, Tim Legler, and we welcome in Jalen Rose of the Phoenix Suns, who I'm sure would rather be elsewhere, but we're glad to have him here right now. Talking about the Eastern Conference Finals right now, Cleveland and Detroit. And Tim, we've seen the version of the LeBron's commercial. We're also seeing it in this series. LeBron games 1 and 2, LeBron game 3. What was the difference?
Well, the biggest difference was the constant that he faced in games 1 and 2 in Detroit, and that was his direct line of vision to the basket was taken away. Whether that was in the half court off of pick and roll situations, whether it was in isolation situations, or whether it was transition, the front line of the Detroit Pistons were there every time he tried to get to the rim. They made sure he could not get all the way to the lane and finish plays, could not get to the foul line. Even in game 1, they just did a much better job of focusing on where he was with 5 sets of eyes at all time. But things kind of turned around in game 3.
It really did. And what turned around more than anything was the impact of his teammates. And you can see now Detroit far more tentative and on their heels. You can see no help on that pick and roll. Chris Webber waits back, and if that happens, you are going to be at the mercy of a guy like LeBron James. And the reality is this: when you're talking about the Detroit Pistons, their front line from a versatility and athletic standpoint, I think the best in the league at being able to deter you from attacking the rim. The problem, though, now is when you start getting a little bit more of an impact from your teammates, guys making three-point shots, also attacking the offensive glass, that now puts the Detroit Pistons in a little bit of a predicament from a defensive standpoint. And what Timmy was talking about early on in games 1 and 2, I'm going to play Tayshaun Prince. You're going to be on my team. Timmy, you're going to be Rasheed Wallace, Chris Webber. And then we got LeBron up here, the LeBrons. And Fred, you're going to set the screen. Early on, and Timmy talked about it, Tayshaun's up high, and there's more aggression on the defense from the help. Now, he doesn't get a direct line to attack the rim. That allows Tayshaun Prince time to recover and get back into containment. Remember, this guy's 6'10" with a 7-foot wingspan. As long as you don't give this guy, who has the best combination of speed, power, and quickness in our league, a direct line to the rim, you can deal with that. What's happened now, with everybody else having an impact, it's made everybody a little more tentative. Now you got Tayshaun Prince, same scenario, guarding. He's a step further off, and then when he goes to attack off that pick and roll, Tayshaun's not getting over it, plus that roll guy is now not helping the way he was. He's not nearly as aggressive. That's allowing Jalen Rose, LeBron James to attack the rim. His confidence is back, his swagger's back, really more than anything because his teammates have started to contribute in the games.
And when you talk about LeBron James, you talk about a guy that has tremendous athleticism, is a tremendous passer. He believes in his teammates sometimes when they don't believe in themselves. But more importantly, he's a finisher at the basket. So when he has the ball at the top of the key, a defender, the big man, for example, he really doesn't want to jump out there too early. Why? Because LeBron James will make the pinpoint pass for a layup. So he has to play honest defensively. And plus, LeBron James can step back, as you saw in the last game, and he stepped back and knocked down a couple of three-pointers. So he's a combination of versatility, size, and he can finish at the basket. So LeBron James is a complete player.
I think the two biggest differences for me in game 3, number one, LeBron James more decisive, particularly in the ISO situation. He was catching and going before Tayshaun Prince got an opportunity to get on balance and lock in. And also, Greg hit on this, the impact of his teammates. Guys step up and make shots. Well, now as a big, I'm much more reluctant to go out there and leave my man if he's going to make a play, and LeBron James got loose on us.
And also, excuse me, Greg, also about shot making, offensive rebounders. When you're big and you jump out 20 feet away from the basket, that leaves Varejao, that leaves Drew Gooden on the weak side for offensive tip-ins.
Well, just consider me Varejao without hit, basically. Anyway, that's the deal on the Eastern Conference Finals. That will resume tomorrow with Game 4. But right now, let's go west, young man. And back out to Dan Patrick in Salt Lake City.